Hey there guys, it's Sarah from SarahsSeoulSearch coming to you from my makeshift video studio in Seoul, South Korea. It's been a while. The last time I made a video, I was in Jeonju celebrating my 10-year Koreaversary, and I mentioned that there was a project I was working on that I hoped to share with you guys very soon. Soon turned into about a year, but finally I am ready to share what I've been working on with you guys, and I'm so excited. Basically, I've been working with a Korean business partner to create a short-term high school exchange program here in Seoul. It's for 14 to 18-year-olds who really want to learn deeply about Korean language and culture. I'm taking everything that I've learned from being a foreigner and also helping other foreigners and turning it into the program that I wish I had when I was 15 years old and I came here for the first time. The program is called SPARKS. That's the Summer Pre-College Academy for Research and Korean Studies. I would be lying if I said I didn't kind of work backwards from the acronym, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Here's our cool logo, which my friend Jaehyun designed. The students who participate in this program will take 120 hours of Korean language classes at Seoul National University, and these, I have confirmed, can be exchanged for up to 6 college credits, either in the US or here in Korea. And there's a really big emphasis on Korean history, so we're kind of doing like a multi-sensory deep dive into 6 eras of Korean history and culture every week. For instance, during the week where we learn about the Joseon Dynasty, we're going to visit palaces, we're going to try on hanbok, we're going to eat palace food, and we're also going to have a special lecturer who is an expert in Korean literature from that time. And then during the second week, we're going to learn about the Japanese colonial era, because even though it is a very painful part of Korean history, I believe that it is important for people to understand. During the week where we learn about the Korean War, we're going to visit the DMZ, we're going to talk to a North Korean defector. The other weeks are Miracle on the Han, democratization, and then finally the Hallyu Wave. So basically, they're going to live and breathe Korean history chronologically. And I'm really excited about this because I've seen a lot of programs. They'll visit Seoul prison, they'll, try on hanbok, they'll learn about a lot of these things, but it's not very clear what the connection is between all of these destinations. Oh, we're going to this place, we're taking a picture, oh, that's cool. But actually, all of these elements and these places, these dishes are connected. So the goal is that students will leave not just with a list of like grammar points or historical facts in their head, but kind of build their understanding of Korea week by week. And I'm hoping that through this experience, people can kind of build a genuine empathy and respect and understanding of Korea and its people. Oh, and also, the Res Hall has a view of Namsan Tower. So this is what it looks like at night. All of the students will be assigned a Korean study buddy. This person will be an undergraduate-aged Korean person, probably in their late teens, early 20s. They'll be able to kind of show them around Seoul, help them with their homework, be a source of friendship, advice, or companionship. I've actually been preparing to do this for about 2 years. I worked at an education consulting firm for Koreans who are looking to study abroad in the US. I was also a resident director for the NISLI program. It's a fantastic program. I met so many amazing students. If any of you guys are watching this video, please, let me know in the comments section below. I love all 44 of you guys. You were absolutely amazing. I also worked as the resident life manager for Minerva University. So when I was at Minerva, I worked with about 120 students from over 50 different countries and helped them take care of logistics, meet interesting people, organize events, etc. Also, kind of in the background, I've been working with my co-founder to create a company called Scuddy, which helps prospective undergraduate and graduate students come to Korea and have the best experience that they possibly can. All in all, throughout the past 2 years, give or take, I've helped about 400 different students. I really feel like working with young people in Korea is kind of like my calling. Because, when I see them, I don't know, I remember what it's like to be a clueless 15-year-old here in Korea. I remember getting lost on the bus, making silly Korean language mistakes, making pretty big faux pas with my host family. I remember trash trauma when I don't know how to sort the recycling. When I was working with these programs, I would get calls like in the middle of the night. Oh, Sarah, I don't know how to turn on my shower. What do I do? I accidentally spilled something all over my host family's carpet. Oh, I think my host mom is mad at me. I don't know what to do. I've talked to some other people who work in this space, and there's nothing wrong with this. They get kind of frustrated when they get these midnight calls or they have to take someone to the ER. Honestly, I really love and get a lot of happiness and satisfaction from helping people solve these everyday problems. I don't know, that's my bread and butter. I love it, and I want to do it every single day. I will be honest, the program isn't cheap, but we are definitely on the lower end of similar programs, which I was really surprised to see. But, you know, now that I'm actually on the back end trying to run things, making contracts, reserving entire floors of buildings, I see why it costs so much. I really think that it's worth it, and I do think that we are the best program. We're offering things that no one else does. Just the 6 credits from SNU alone, if you go to a university like Georgetown or Northwestern, 6 credits of Korean language classes at those schools cost over $12,000. Our program tuition doesn't even approach that. We offer 2 home-cooked meals prepared on site every single day, SIM card with unlimited data, the undergraduate study buddy, weekly cultural activities, taekwondo, which is how I got my start in Korea actually, K-pop dance of course, drawing Korean folk paintings called minhwa. Students can choose one from a list that we will have prepared when we have the final student roster. We're also going to introduce the students to a lot of interesting lecturers and experts, really cool people, getting to talk to a North Korean defector or going to discuss the nuances of Joseon era poetry with a professional translator, people who work in the K-pop industry. It's pretty hard to get all of those things in one place. That's why it took me 2 years to put it together. So we are offering some discounts, pretty hefty ones. For instance, if you apply before February 25th, we're going to take $500 off the cost of your program. And then if you apply as a pair or as a group, so like with a sibling or a friend or, you know, somebody else, we will take an additional $500 off. So that's $1,000 off per person. That's $2,000 off total. And that's just if you apply as 2 people. It can go upwards from there. I know that a lot of the people who subscribe to this channel may have aged out of the program, because it is for 14 to 18-year-olds. However, if you know somebody who might be interested in this kind of rigorous program here in Korea, we are a new program and a new company, so we are trying to get the word out. You can check out our website at SoulSparks.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at SoulSparks. Please share this with a friend. Tell your cousin who's an overachieving K-pop stan, or if you know somebody who wanted to do a program like Nestle, for instance, but couldn't for whatever reason. Share this with people, and if you're interested, please apply. See you guys very soon, hopefully with more updates and information. Bye!